then if you want to, you go into that debate about, the next head coach or what have you. Is it Mickey Joseph? Is it somebody else? Mickey was asked about that. He said that he has not been interviewed for the job. He hasn't talked to Trev. He talked to Trev, I think, last week sometime, and nothing came up with it. And he's prepared for anything. To him, he wants to be here. If it's head coach or if it's in another role, he wants to be here, and I think that's a big key. But if it's a new head coach hire, it's up to him if he wants to keep Mickey Joseph, and I think obviously you'd be pretty stupid not to keep him, just for what he brings with his enthusiasm and his recruiting expertise. And I always add on Bill Bush to that too, because these are two of the best evaluators of talent that I have ever come across, seriously, in my long career. And to add to that, Mickey was asked, or there was some recruiting questions going on, and then he was also asked if he'd seen Justin Jefferson's performance on Sunday, with that spectacular one-handed grab that he snatched away from the defender. And Mickey's like, oh yeah, I talk to Justin every week. I talked to him last week, and I told him, to not try to be catching the balls, with by your chest. He says, go up for those things and pull them down. Look, a week later, look what happens. I mean, that's an unbelievable job by Justin Jefferson. And then to piggyback on that is that there's a recruit coming in here that they offered at quarterback from Texas that has no star ranking, had just a few FBS offers, and Nebraska offered him last week, and he's already been here for one visit, so he's going to be here for the Wisconsin game here on Saturday. And Mickey said, a guy once asked me why are you recruiting a no-star guy? He's like, you know what? Justin Jefferson was like number 2,100 kid coming out in his year out of high school and had no offers and no star ranking. And it's all about, going out and seeing these kids in person at camps and then talking to them and getting to know them and find out if they love the game of football. And he said, yeah, I would have never, if I was listening to that guy that asked me that, I never would have offered Justin Jefferson. And now look where he is. I mean, so I think that all speaks for itself right there about, the kind of impact that Mickey Joseph makes on the football program.
Greg's right on target right there. I'm looking at it. Justin Jefferson was ranked behind 2,163 players in high school football.
Crazy.
Good Lord.
And now he's the best receiver in the world.
He was the 308th best wide receiver in high school.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, the scouts don't always hit it. Because as soon as you said no star, the first thing that was going to come out of my mouth, but you already answered it, was, man, they must really love this kid, because it's not like, okay, you got offers from Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma State. Okay, we better go look at this kid. Or the recruiting services are saying he's a 4-star, so we're going to, no, that's on pure evaluation coming from Mickey Joseph and his staff.
That's where it's all about. I mean, how many times have we seen a 5-star go somewhere with all these accolades and he ends up playing like a 1-star?
Yep.
So it's all about relationships, getting to know the guys. You see the player, all right, you see a player at a camp or something, you get eyeballs on him, and he meets that first eyeball check. You can see that, he's got hips, he's got feet, he's got snap, he's got grit. And then you meet him, you talk to him, then you meet their parent, you get to know their family. You know, number one key is you got to love football. Right there, you got to love football, and then if you've got the tools necessary, and you get to know them a little bit and see what what they're made of and everything, and that's the grittiness, the gritty part about a player. And then depending on what position you're talking about, having the skill set to play wide receiver, or if we're talking about a lineman that has those characteristics of good hip snap and good get off and to be able to get be able to bend and all that. Those are the other guys that you're looking for on the line, and he's got it down to a science. I mean, he should write a book on recruiting seriously when he's when he's done being on the sidelines, because him and Bill Bush are the same. They are the best evaluators of talent. That, I mean, hands down. I don't know if I could even think of anybody better.
Do you know who's been impacted by Casey Thompson's absence more than anyone? At least in my opinion. I think it's pretty easy to see.
Trey Palmer.
Mm-hmm. His last game with Casey Thompson at quarterback against Purdue, this was a crazy game. 7 catches for 237 and 2 touchdowns. Since then, Illinois, 1 catch, 1 yard. Minnesota, 5 catches, 37 yards. Michigan, 5 catches, 12 yards. So the last 2 games, he got his 5 catches, but he's obviously not getting downfield. They're just little.
No, I mean, that's the problem, that they're not looking for him downfield, and then all of a sudden you're trailing in the game, and your coach is yelling at you in your ear saying, get Trey Palmer the ball, and the guys throwing the passes, obviously they're only comfortable throwing short passes to Trey Palmer. And I think I think Chubba Purdy wasn't healthy until coming into Michigan's game, and then unfortunately he gets hurt again and is done. But I think he was, at least trying to get the ball down the field. It wasn't pretty at times, but I don't want to say he was playing poorly, because I actually, at times, I thought he did a pretty decent job. But obviously, the chemistry is all mixed up, because, it's obvious to see that Casey Thompson had worked a lot with Trey Palmer once they both showed up on campus. And they really knew. It was kind of like an Aaron Rodgers thing, with Devontae Adams. He, didn't even need to look. He'd always know where he was. And I think Casey Thompson and Trey Palmer were kind of getting to that same kind of a relationship, on the field. But hey, football, injuries happen in football, and everybody's got to adjust. And unfortunately, it's hurt Nebraska again.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, here's my NFL nugget for the week. I heard this one. The Dallas Cowboys, in their history, were 195-0 when leading by at least 14 points going into the fourth quarter until Saturday.
Wow.
195-0. That's like protecting leads. Like 14 points is a nice lead, but it's not a crazy lead.
That's mind-boggling. Yeah.
That is mind-boggling.
Yeah.